Have you ever found yourself torn between two choices only to doubt yourself days, weeks after making it? Vacillating between two choices can be a huge drain on your resources, on your mental and emotional energy, and maybe it leaves you so exhausted that in the end you don't even make a decision. But not making a decision is also making a decision, and maybe that's not the decision that you want to make. If this sounds like you are not alone. Many of us have difficulty with this. And today I'm going to walk you through my process for making difficult decisions so that you can apply this to your life and sleep peacefully at night, no matter the quandary that you find yourself in. Okay, number one is listen to your body. So some of us may have been in the practice of ignoring our feelings, and I know I have a client who told me that he was actually an endurance athlete, and if you're an ultra marathon runner, then you get pretty good at listening to ignoring the little niggles that are out there. Totally makes sense. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna turn up the volume on what's going on inside. We're gonna put our attention on that. And when we do, we start to notice that really quickly we're getting signals as to whether it's a yes or a no for a situation. Somebody asks you something and you feel kind of tight, constricted, maybe a little bit annoyed. That's going to be a no. Maybe somebody invites you to something and you feel immediately excited, kind of fizzy. There's an energy coursing through you and it feels happy. That sounds like a yes. Sometimes you're going to get a kind of mix of things. Maybe there's some trepidation, but it also sounds pretty exciting. That sounds like a growth opportunity to me. So number one to do is practice noticing the sensations in your body and being able to give them an emotion. Number two, understand your needs. So as human creatures, we all have certain things that we need for survival, right? Air, first and foremost, water, food, shelter. Those are some pretty basic ones. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. But there are some other things that I think sometimes we forget that are our needs. Things like companionship, community, creativity, physical expression. There's a pretty long list. I'm going to put in the notes here. Definitely take a look. This is an NVC, nonviolent communication list, and I highly recommend that you familiarize yourself with it, because whether you know it or not, you do have these needs, and they are the kind of things that when they go unmet, we start to experience unpleasant emotions, right? So if we understand our feelings as an indication of something, it's just a message, right? It's not good or bad. I don't talk in good or bad feelings. We have pleasant and unpleasant feelings. So normally if a need is going unmet, you're going to experience an unpleasant feeling, and that is a motivation for you to go and get that need met, right? That could be maybe you feel a bit irritable and your tummy is rumbling and you realize, oh, actually I'm hungry, I have a need for food. Obviously if you go and eat, you're going to feel better, right? But it could even be something like, I feel uncomfortable in this situation, I don't really know who these people are, and maybe there's a need for safety that is not being met in this specific situation. Your body is giving you an instruction, let's get the hell out of here, I don't like this. So that's the second thing we're going to do. We're going to practice getting really familiar with what our needs are. All right, number three. So number three is knowing your core values. Now, maybe you haven't done an exercise like this before. You've probably got some ideas. Values are things like kindness, generosity, authenticity, integrity, work ethic. It's a pretty long list. I'll put a link in the notes as well if you want to take a look at this. If you've never done this exercise, I suggest you go through the list, tick off everything that sounds like important to you, that you value in your life, And then try and get that down to maybe say 3 core values. These are going to be your guiding stars for how you live your life, right? So maybe you have like kindness, generosity, and authenticity. And when a decision comes up, you can be like, okay, so what do I value here? You know, maybe if I'm going to lean into kindness, maybe I am going to help that person with that thing. Or maybe authenticity is actually really important for me. And I would rather tell my friend that I don't want to help them move house because actually that's not fun for me, but I would be happy to bring them over dinner afterwards so that I can support them with my kindness, but also be my authentic self, which is I don't want to move furniture. That's okay if you don't want to move furniture. So know your core values. Do that exercise, really valuable. Check the notes. Okay, number 4. This is a really important one. I'm glad you guys stuck around for this. Okay, number 4 is sometimes both of your decisions are going to have an outcome that is going to be uncomfortable for you. Let me give you an example to explain. Maybe you have an interaction with a friend. You don't like how they spoke to you in this moment. And you go away from that interaction, you're feeling kind of bad about it. You could shove it down, pretend everything's fine, feel resentful towards your friend because you didn't like what they did. Or you could have a difficult conversation with them. You could reach out and say, hey, listen, I have something that I want to share with you. This is really important to me. When you said X the other day, I felt really upset because I was hoping that you would support me with that. And the story that I'm telling myself is that you don't care. And maybe your friend is going to come back to you and say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it came across like that. That wasn't my intention. I'm so sorry, hopefully, right? Maybe they're going to say like, no, that's not my problem, that's your problem. That is an outcome, a possible outcome as well. I'm not going to lie to you. Like sharing your feelings doesn't always have a great outcome. But in option 1, for sure, you're going to feel disconnected and resentful of that person. In option 2, there is a possibility of reconciliation. Maybe you're going to have a deeper relationship as a result. Maybe that person is going to say, thank you so much for sharing with me. I had no idea that I impacted you in that way, and that was not my intention, and I'm so sorry. Like, let me make it up to you. Okay, so that's it. That is my process that I follow when I'm making a hard decision. I check in with my feelings, I check in with my needs, I consult my values. I remind myself that sometimes there are only going to be 2 kind of uncomfortable options. And in that case, I'm going to defer to my values for when I make the decision. I hope that helps you guys. If you've used this, please drop me a comment and let me know how it works out for you. If you want to hear more of this kind of thing, hit that subscribe button. Or if you want to talk personally, I've got a link in my bio, and I offer free discovery calls. So if you're looking for some more personalized support, definitely take me up on that option. It would be a pleasure to talk to you in person.